You ever have those days where you feel like you're just going through the motions? Like you're on a treadmill, running hard, but not really sure where you're headed? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. So in today's explainer, we're going to dig into Bradley Hook's Start with Values. It's all about finding your direction and finally building a life that actually feels like yours. So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why you need a sort of personal GPS for life. Then, we'll get clear on what core values actually are. After that, the fun part, a simple method to find your top 3. And finally, we'll see how living an aligned life can change everything.
All right, let's kick things off with a problem that I think we can all relate to. Just having way too many choices.
I mean, think about it. You ever spend like a solid hour scrolling through Netflix just to give up and watch nothing at all? That is the paradox of choice, right there. When we're flooded with options, it's so easy to get paralyzed or just pick the easiest thing, not what's truly best for us.
This is where your values come in. Think of them as your own internal GPS. They're what help you navigate all the chaos of life and make choices that actually line up with who you are, filtering out all the noise that won't get you where you really want to go.
It's kind of like you're hiking in the middle of the night. Without a flashlight, you're pretty much lost, right? But the second you turn one on, boom, you can see the path ahead. Well, your values are that flashlight. They give you the clarity to cut through all the uncertainty. Okay, so now that we know why values are so critical, let's get down to it. What exactly are they? So this is pretty cool. The word value actually comes from a Latin word that means to be strong. And that is no accident, because living by your values, especially when it's tough, takes real courage. It's a true act of strength.
So let me ask you, what really motivates you? Is it about feeling secure? Is it about personal growth? Or is it about making a real impact? This tool, the Values Pyramid, helps us map out what drives us, from our most basic needs all the way up to true fulfillment. The pyramid basically has 3 levels. Down at the bottom, you've got survive. This is all about our essential needs, a roof over our head, feeling safe. Then you move up to engage. This is where we start to grow and connect with others, learning new things, building relationships. And at the very top, we have thrive. This is where we live with purpose and make a contribution that feels meaningful. Okay, the theory is great, but now let's get practical. It's time to actually find your own core values. And we're going to use something called the Rule of 3. It's a really simple but incredibly powerful way to get focused. The whole idea is to nail down just 3 values that are the most important to you. These become your anchor for every decision you make. So why only 3? Well, you know that saying, if you have 10 priorities, you really have none? It's completely true. You spread yourself way too thin. The same goes for values. By zeroing in on just 3, you can make sure you're actually living a life that reflects what matters most to you. Ready to find your top 3? Here's a simple process. First, just reflect. Think about the moments in your life when you felt the most proud, the most alive. Second, for each of those moments, try to name the value that was driving it. Was it courage, creativity, connection? And third, start whittling down that list. Imagine you could only keep one. Which would it be? Then do it again until you're left with your non-negotiable top 3. There's this great quote from Antoine de Saint-Exupéry that says, "Perfection is achieved not when there is nothing more to add, but when there's nothing left to take away." And that's exactly what we're doing here. The goal isn't a long, fancy list. It's a short, powerful list that you can actually live by day in and day out. So what's the whole point of this exercise? I mean, what's the big payoff for getting your life aligned with your values? You know that feeling when you're being pulled in a million different directions, that little bit of constant stress? That's what happens when your actions don't match your values. But when you live an aligned life, man, that's when you feel a sense of clarity, of purpose, and just this deep, authentic fulfillment. And maybe the most powerful thing is this. When you truly know your values, you're empowered. You finally have a clear reason to say no to the things that drain you and a confident yes to the things that actually matter. It's the ultimate way to protect your energy and well-being. So, I'll leave you with this question. What 3 values are going to guide your life? Really take some time to think about it, and then start living that way. You might just be blown away by the difference it makes.